Are you someone who does all the manifestation stuff and you find that it's not really working for you? You're not getting the results that you're looking for? I'm going to explain in this video what is going on, how manifestation actually works, what it is actually all about, and what needs to happen in order for you to begin to really see the results that you're looking for, to experience the stuff you want to experience, have those kind of relationships, whether there's a certain income you're looking for, whatever it is for you, doesn't matter. The core principle applies across the board. Manifestation can get a lot of flack, and there's a lot of confusion around it because there's a lot of people that teach on it and are giving, I think possibly, maybe, I don't know if it's in their intention, but they are essentially taking advantage of people's fears and pain points and the suffering that they're in order to promote a course or a product or whatever, and giving all kinds of tools. I've seen everything from speaking to water to writing notes and putting them under your pillow, write something 3 times and fold the paper 6 times and turn in a circle 9 times, and all the different kinds of things. And these tools are all useful to the extent that they shift how you feel. So if they help you shift how you feel, then they're useful for you. But ultimately, they're not required. They're permission slips for you to feel empowered or to feel successful or to feel confident or whatever it is that you're needing to shift within yourself. What it really comes down to is you are going to attract, you're going to experience, you're going to see things reflected back to you according to who you are being. And when I say who you are being, what I'm talking about is that vibrational energy that exists, that you are. So what are you emanating? And if that's kind of confusing to you and I don't really get it, I don't get what vibration means, I don't get what energy means. Think about it when, say you walk into a room and there's a couple of people in that room, and as soon as you walk in, you feel, even though they've said nothing, they haven't told you anything, you can feel like, oh, this doesn't feel good. There's some sort of tension here, even without any words conveyed at all. You felt the energy, right? There's a certain vibration that these people, they're vibrating in. There's an energy, a frequency that they're vibrating on. And you might not necessarily be able to put words to it. You just know this doesn't feel good. So we have like a scale, if you want to look at it this way. There's a vibrational scale. A map that I like to use is the map of consciousness, mapped out by David Hawkins. And he uses emotion to map out these levels, these frequencies of vibration, starting all the way down from shame all the way up into enlightenment. Something of a lower vibration typically doesn't feel good to us. We don't like the way it feels. Things like shame and guilt, apathy, grief, fear, anger, these kinds of things. Something of a higher vibration, this feels good to us. These are things like love and joy and peace, compassion, empathy, acceptance. So depending on what we are vibrating, we label it with words. So feeling is the word we invented to describe the conscious awareness of the vibration that we're. So when we understand everything is vibration, and then we look at the law of attraction, that like attracts like, this is really ultimately what manifestation, where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. So the thing is, the universe is truthful. So this is where we get to see what's really going on, and we can say, I want to be wealthy. We can even affirm it. I am wealthy, I'm abundant, I am free, I am prosperous, I am, all the things that we can say about ourselves. But that could just be lip service. What's really going on vibrationally and energetically for us is, I'm feeling lack. I don't feel like I'm good enough. I'm not worthy. I can't do it. I'm afraid of being successful because then everybody's gonna, want to take advantage of me. We can have all kinds of things going on vibrationally. And that's what the universe is communicating with. That's what we're seeing a reflection of. So this is why, even though you're doing all the really great manifestation things that you're doing, that they might not be working, because it's essentially lip service. You're doing things, but the energy and vibration isn't coming alongside of it. So if your affirmations don't shift actually how you are feeling, then they're not really helping you. If your journaling or your vision board isn't helping you to feel the emotions that go along with the achievement of the goal that you have, then it's not helping you. And then let's go a bit deeper. And this is where I'm going to help you guys. I'm going to do a series of this in order to help you begin to make some shifts on that deeper level. So I've seen it where there's these people that work really, really hard and they don't experience the results. And then I've seen other people, they don't seem to work very hard and their results are just through the roof. So that led me to really dig in and try to understand what was going on there. And I found out under the surface, vibrationally, that the people, even though they were working very hard, they had beliefs and energy, trapped energy in their body of things like betrayal or fear or sadness or confusion, or I'm looking at, I have a list of emotions here: blaming, jealousy, shame. Shame is a big one for a lot of people. Unsupported, and the list goes on and on. And so this is energy is emanating, is vibrating within the individual. And therefore, this is what is being reflected back to them by the universe. The universe just says yes. So whatever vibrational frequency you are on, you just get more. The universe says yes. So if you're like, life is hard and things don't work out for me, but I want to be wealthy and I wish I was, I wish that I had that ideal partner, the universe just says yes. So what are you doing? Who are you being in that moment? When you want something, that implies I don't have it, right? So you're just getting more of I don't have it. If you wish for something, it's something that you currently don't have, that's maybe off in the future or just kind of like a fluffy thing in the air. And so the universe just says, yes, it's off in the future, it's a fluffy thing in the air, it's not right now. We must shift who we are being in this now moment, because this is only the moment that we are able to create in, is right now. So when we look under the surface and we start digging in, and I've worked with many clients one-on-one, and I do this as a group with people, as with individuals as well, what we see is that they might have a goal of something they want to achieve. Let's say that's a financial goal. But as a young child, they experienced, let's just say, creative insecurity. So there was something that they did as a child where it was like they created a project or an art piece or something like that, and they put their heart and soul into it, and then they showed it to their teacher and the teacher criticized it, or they showed it to mom and dad and they ignored them. And so there was this emotion of like insecure about your creation, and you trapped it in your body and you've been holding it there ever since. And so there's an energy of like, what I create isn't good enough, it's not going to work, people don't like it. And so the universe just says yes, and you keep experiencing it. That's why you see it in your reality, because it's vibrationally going on within you. So you could be completely unaware that this is happening, right? And you could be affirming, I'm successful, I'm all these things, but your vibrational field is sending out a signal of creative insecurity. And so the universe says yes to that, and you experience rejection, you experience self-sabotage, where you won't actually take action towards your goals because you're afraid of being criticized or it not working or people laughing at you or whatever. Or you experience people who don't appreciate you. These kind of people will come into your life. You might have a boss who just, no matter how hard you work or what you do, there's no validation there, there's no approval, and on it goes, because your outer world is a mirror to show you what's going on within you so that you can heal it, so that you can let it go, so you can overcome it. So what I would like to do here, I haven't done this on YouTube or Instagram or any of my channels and stuff that I have done so far, but this is what I do with people one-on-one, and also what I do with my group, my healing group that we do every week. And I go through, and when I work with an individual, I'll use muscle testing to see what are the trapped emotions that are going on within you. And we start releasing those one by one. But I connected with spirit, or whatever terminology you want to use, with myself. I use muscle testing for myself and asked me, my higher self, I'm like, what are the 7 main negative trapped emotions that I should create videos on in order to help people release this from, if they can't work with me directly or in the group or something like that, like how can I put this out for free in order to help people? The top emotions that came up were shame, abandonment, sadness, jealousy, heartache, lack of control, and shock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one emotion at a time, and we're going to talk about it, we're going to learn a little bit about it, and you're going to go on a bit of a journey with yourself in terms of where is this going on within you, and then we're going to release it together. And the method that I use is called the emotion code. And so I go through and we test and we see, what's this emotion? Where is it trapped in your body? How old were you when it was trapped? And what was the experience that you had that you actually felt an overwhelming quantity of that emotion? Typically, when we trap an emotion, it means pretty much it overwhelms our system, and we don't have the tools or whatever in order to process it and allow it to move through our body. So now we're going to look at that. We're going to see And obviously, because I'm not talking with you directly, I'm not going to be able to find the specific thing for you, but be confident in yourself that you're going to, and trust your intuition to what comes up for you is what it is, is the situation where it is in your body. And that's going to make sense as we go through here. So healing happens through intention, through witness, and through knowing. We've used the word faith before, but sometimes people don't really fully know what that word means, to have faith. But that basically that healing happens through the shift in vibration. If I take an example out of the Bible, so I grew up learning about Jesus, and there was stories of him, being this great healer, and people would come to him and be like, please heal me, or my son is sick, or I'm blind, or whatever, and Jesus would do different things in order to heal these people. Interestingly enough, Jesus himself said, "It is your faith that has healed you." Jesus didn't claim that he was this almighty healer. Other people had faith and belief in Jesus that he could heal them. But the actual thing that was healing those people was the belief in their mind. It was a shift. They were putting their faith in Jesus, thinking it was him that was doing it. But it wasn't Jesus having some magical power on them. It was that they shifted their knowingness. They went from I'm sick to I'm healed. So they went through Jesus to do it, their belief system. They didn't have the belief in themselves. But at least the belief was there. And so when we do these healing practices, I don't have any magical power more than you do. We all have magical power. It's our ability to know something to be true that creates that experience for us. And that is what healing is. And I know this because I see it happen all the time. I see people healed. I've had clients who have been in tremendous pain, and we've released trapped emotions, and that pain has instantly gone away, and it's been there for years. And I've seen people's financial situations change. I've seen relationships change, all the stuff. So I'm in this knowingness of the ability to create whatever reality you want. And so I'm vibrating at that frequency. So what's happening here, and this is what any healer is doing, and Bashar has talked about this as well. If you don't know who Bashar is, go look him up. He's super cool. A healer vibrates at a certain frequency and basically creates a space, and it's an invitation for you to join them on that frequency. And it's up to you whether you're going to choose to raise your vibration to that level or not. It's always on that individual to choose that. So what we're doing here is we're going to go through and understand, here's an area where you've been holding on to something of a lower frequency. And I'm going to then invite you to let it go. And so that your vibration can just naturally raise. And then we're going to do that one by one on each of these videos. So without any further ado, we're going to go into the fourth negative trapped emotion, which is jealousy. This is one I've battled with as my journey went through. I started out in network marketing and seeing people, some people would be super successful, and I'd be working really hard, and I wouldn't see that success happening for me right away. And then I'd feel that jealousy, why are things working for them and not for me? And this jealousy can look different for everybody. And you might even think, oh, I'm not jealous. But the whole point of this stuff is to be really honest with yourself. There's nobody listening. It's just you and me here, and I can't even hear you, right? So you don't have to feel worried about judgment or anything. We want to face this stuff. We don't want to hide from it. We don't want to suppress it. You might know all the right things to say, but now is not the time for that. Now is not the time for putting on a show and putting up a facade and all that kind of stuff. We want to get real with ourselves so that we can heal it, so that we can, allow these things to move through, so that we can move on from them. So if you ever notice, even if, that jealousy, it can be very subtle too. It can be things like, even just that feeling of, why don't I have that? Or I wish that was me, or I wish, I could have that thing, or I wish I could be like that. Could disguise jealousy as admiration at times as well. And so just being really honest with yourself. You could have trapped this. This could have been something from a very young age. And it can be so simple as you were it was your sibling's birthday party, and they got a bunch of gifts, and because it was their birthday party and it wasn't yours, and you might have felt jealous in that moment. And just look at all the stuff they're getting, all the attention they're getting, and I want it. It can be these trapped emotions can get in through ways that we've long forgotten. So notice this jealousy. I'll read you the definition. What memories are coming up for you? And maybe it's something you're dealing with currently. Could be a recent thing, doesn't matter. It can show up in different ways, but we just want to get familiar with this emotion and how it could be, going on within you, and therefore creating experiences that aren't what you prefer. So the definition of jealousy is resentful and envious of someone's success, achievements, or advantages, having suspicious fears of rivalry or unfaithfulness, results from a fear of not being loved and or from insecurity. So notice that it results from a fear of not being loved and or from insecurity. And this can come up majorly in relationships, right? If there's insecurity about yourself, that you are good enough, that person is going to stay with you or be committed to you or whatever, you can really feel jealousy anytime. Like they might even talk to another person, or who knows, all the stuff that goes on social media with liking pictures and all that kind of stuff. So what is that for you? Is it in your relationships? Is it in around money? Is it in around body, like, the shape of someone's body or their appearance, things like this? Did you notice, is it something you are aware of from childhood or from, many years ago as well, where you would have really clung on to that and allowed that to really sink in for you in your energy being? And then we're going to look and see, okay, what is this telling us? If you've experienced or currently experiencing this emotion of jealousy, where is that coming from? Jealousy doesn't feel good, and it's a lower vibrational energy. How are we perceiving ourselves? Again, so this is a lot of repetition, but I have to say these things over and over again because this could be your first video in the series and you haven't watched the previous one, so I'd encourage you to do that. But a negative emotion, what it's doing, it's a messenger, and it is telling us and showing us that we have an incorrect perception of ourselves. We're perceiving ourselves incorrectly, so it doesn't feel good. So these negative emotions are very helpful, and we're very grateful for them because they're here to show us something. Because we're all in this process of awakening and our awareness expanding, our level of consciousness going up, and this process that we're going through right now is helping us do that, go through that. So if we look at jealousy and we see, okay, how do I need to be perceiving myself to result in jealousy? This not good feeling emotion. I have a few suggestions. I would say some of the beliefs and ideas that you could have, again, right in the definition, it says it results from a fear of not being loved. So again, you have a belief that you're not loved. That other person is loved, so you think you're not loved. Just because someone loves someone else doesn't mean you aren't loved. Even if we take people out of the picture, like just think God source energy, light is love. It's this love light. It's the same thing. You can't be separate from love. You're made up of it. You can't lack love. You are it. So that's an incorrect perception that you can somehow lack love or lose love in some kind of way. Someone else's behavior towards you doesn't dictate the amount of love that is in you. It's not like, oh, here's a tank that my love tank, and if people are nice to me and around me, then my tank fills up. But if I'm alone, my tank goes down. There's no tank. Tanks doesn't exist. It's just all love. So being able to get rid of this illusion of separateness, this illusion of being able to earn or lose love, is what jealousy is helping you see right now. It's helping you in that process, being like, oh, I've been believing this lie, and that's why I'm having these feelings that don't feel good. So looking at that and seeing, okay, here's an incorrect perception of myself. Thank you, jealousy, for showing this to me. The majority of people are walking around and seeking validation, their own worth, whether they're loved or not, from other people. This will never satisfy. Trying to get this fulfillment from somebody else or something outside ourselves, it will never work. So the shift that needs to happen is to begin to understand, I'm the one responsible for my own fulfillment and how I feel. I need to love myself. I need to accept myself. I need to be here for me. And that fulfillment is only going to come from within. So as we let go of this need to get stuff from other people, again, jealousy becomes irrelevant. It won't be there, because if you're not dependent on someone else to make you feel good, or to make you happy, or to make you good enough, or to make you worthy enough, then what is there to be jealous of? The other thing is that jealousy arises because we're comparing ourselves to other people. But each individual is on their own journey. Who's to say what is going on for them? The bamboo analogy is a really good example. Bamboo, when it's planted, you plant it, and then it takes, I don't know if it's 5 or 10, let's say it's 5 years of planting and fertilizing, where that seed, and you don't see any growth above ground. And then all of a sudden in the 5th year, the bamboo shoots up like 10 feet and like have this massive growth all at once. So you got the bamboo plant, and that's its journey, right? There's another plant over here. You can plant, I don't know, a maple tree or something, and that thing's going to start growing right away. They grow super fast. I know this because they grow around here, and they're always growing where they aren't supposed to be, in your flower bed and all kinds of places. You have to keep pulling them out. But the bamboo, if a tornado comes along, that bamboo can be still standing, because in that 5 years, all the energy and the growth was going into the root system. And now sure, the bamboo is nice and tall, and we could, but it's very, very strong, right? Whereas, for example, the tornado comes along and it's going to be ripped out of the ground. The root system is more pretty much on the surface level. It's not very deep. If we would compare in the first year the bamboo to the maple, we would say, let's look at the bamboo. It's not doing anything. It's not growing. Nothing's happening. What's wrong with it? It's so slow. And we'd be like, oh, good job, maple tree. Like, oh, you're growing so fast. And the bamboo tree could be envious of the maple tree, thinking like, oh, look at it growing. What's wrong with me? I'm not above the surface. On and on and on. It's 2 different journeys. And there's advantages to each. But when we compare them to each other, we can like say one is better than the other or whatever. They're just different. Sometimes your growth, you're having a life experience where a lot of time is going into your root system. And then you're going to have a period of time of a lot of growth above ground, so to speak. And there will be people too that will come along, and they'll look at you in that moment of growth and be like, oh man, like look at how amazing they're doing. And they haven't seen your 20, 30 years of preparation for that growth, or more, 50 years, 60, who knows how long it's going to be. So comparing, don't do it. Don't do it, because you're on your path. They're on their path. They're right where they need to be, going through the lessons they need to go through. You're going through everything you need to go through. You're right where you're meant to be. You don't have to worry at all. Don't worry at all. The things you're going through are exactly what you need right now. And you can just surrender and trust to that. And we begin to understand that, when we begin to understand everything's working out for my highest good. I'm right where I'm meant to be. I can just surrender to the current of life, knowing that I'll be taken exactly where I need to go. You can kind of relax, and you can see someone who's doing really well, and instead of feeling jealousy, you can feel like, oh wow, that's awesome. You're one with them, you're connected. You're like, they're doing well, I'm doing well. Their success is my success, and you can celebrate it versus feeling that jealousy or that you're lacking it. So hopefully that helps with that emotion, and kind of helps to like bring up, what needs to shift for you, your perception of yourself and how you're seeing things, so that jealousy becomes irrelevant. Now that we've talked about it for a while, you can close your eyes and just begin to notice what the memories are that are coming up for you, where you might have felt that jealousy, where you trapped it in your body. It could be something recent or a long time ago. Notice if you feel it in your body somewhere. I'm feeling some tension actually in my shoulders right now. You might notice tension or even pain for yourself in your body. That might be the very space that you've trapped this emotion. And as we've looked at this, we've learned from this. Jealousy has taught us some things about ourselves, which is really good, and we're super thankful for that. As we've learned that lesson, now we're able to let this go. Free ourselves from it, no longer resonating with it. So I invite you to see that jealousy being released from your body. You can use an image if you're visual. A black wispy smoke or goo or a dark energy of some kind, whatever works for you. It doesn't really matter what the image is. It could just even be a flash of light where this is being released from your body. You can do that now. Thank you so much that we're able to release this trapped emotion across all time, space, reality, dimensions. Thank you. And so it is. And just take a deep breath in and out. And as you let it out, just let out any residual jealousy from your system. And I invite you to allow a warm, healing, light energy in through the top of the head, swirling in down through the body, bringing healing to you, to your field, going to those places where jealousy was nudged in, and seeing that healing take place, and filling it with everything working out for my highest good and the highest good of all. I celebrate mine and others' success, knowing that we are all connected. We are all rising together. I appreciate the uniqueness of each person's individual journey that they are on. Not one being better than the other, just each being unique and different. When you're ready, you can gently open the eyes. Bring yourself back into the room. Again, I invite you to utilize this as many times as you want. You might find you want to go back and listen to this again. Go through it again, and that's totally cool. However you want to use these that's up to you. There's also other videos. If this is your first video that you've come across, I've already created ones on shame, abandonment, and sadness, and there's more to come. You could do this, or you do a little challenge for yourself where you do one of these a day or one a week for 7 weeks in order to start working through some of these things that you've been holding on to that you're ready to let go of. You're like, I'm tired of holding on to this stuff. I don't want to hold on to it anymore. Let me learn what I need to learn and let's move forward. Remember, their universe is very honest. It's going to give you a reflection of who you are being. So if you're frustrated with the results that you're getting, if you're frustrated with what you're experiencing in your world, it's a little bit of a tough pill to swallow, but we actually have to look at ourselves. We have to go see what's going on within me. And this is why I'm doing this series, so that we can start to begin to look what's going on within me, that I'm seeing this reflected back to me, that I'm having these experiences over and over again. I'm wearing these, you might be wearing the lens of, for example, jealousy, these glasses. So when you look at the world where one person might see something to celebrate, you, because you've tuned to the vibration of jealousy, you have an experience where you're jealous of that situation. So that's how we're creating our reality, by these glasses that we're looking at things through. And so we just perpetuate more and more of it. So how do we begin to shift that? We have to face our demon, so to speak. We have to face that shadow and say, like, okay, I have this within me. I'm ready to see it, face it, learn from it, and let it go. And then this is really what manifestation is all about. It's not this easy peasy, like throw a vision board up. It's really about you get who you are. And so the change really comes from you doing that change within you, of letting go of the things that are no longer serving you, of shifting your vibration to these frequencies where you then see more and more reflected back to you of what you would prefer. And it's a real exciting journey. It's quite an adventure. I'm glad that you're on it with me, and I encourage you to keep going. I'm here with you. Comment below on what you are going through, what's come up for you around jealousy, and how this is helping you too in facing this and moving forward. And if you're having questions or you're confused about something, you can put that in the comments as well, and I'll be sure to respond. We'll see you in the next video. I hope you really enjoyed that video and were able to take away some nuggets that are helping you on your journey. I am deeply committed to my mission to raise the vibration of the world one person at a time. Of course, that starts with me and my own journey and then extends through the teaching and energy and healing work that I do on a day-to-day basis. I see really two angles to come at this journey of evolution for us to raise our vibration so that we can experience abundance and freedom and joy, those loving relationships, those healthy bodies, all those things that you're searching for. It actually is a journey that happens from within. And on the one angle, we come at this from understanding, gaining wisdom, beginning to discover ourselves and who we really are. How does the cosmos work? What is the soul's journey? This is why I teach on YouTube and give videos on my social media in order to gain understanding and wisdom and awareness so that we can logically move ourselves forward. The other angle to come at this is through inner work, through healing, through what has been coined as shadow work. This is why I do energy work and I use things like the emotions code, like bioresonance, do subconscious reprogramming, brain entrainment, all these beautiful and wonderful things in order to do work inwardly to shift our vibration. When I say shift our vibration, you naturally, at spirit soul level, vibrate at a very high level with perfect abundance and freedom and joy and all those things. But what happens though through life experiences, we tend to hold on to things like limiting beliefs, traumas, fears, doubts, anxiety, stress, all this kind of stuff that's not you. So our journey of raising our vibration is actually a journey of letting go of that which is not us. And so that is the other angle that I utilize in order to help people raise their vibration into these places that feel really, really good. What happens over YouTube though, or over these videos, is that there can be a disconnect. You can't necessarily talk to me or ask your questions. And so you sometimes feel like you're alone. So I'm really excited to announce that I have a membership where we can meet once a week and you're able to ask me questions as well as work with other people that are like-minded and on this journey together of raising our vibration, of manifesting lives that are beautiful and wonderful, that we're so happy and excited to be alive, living our passions and doing the things that bring us a lot of joy. On those calls, I will actually work with you individually as well. For people who are wanting help, I can release negative trapped emotions right there in person. For those who would like that done, I can use my bioresonance technology in order to read your frequency right then and there and actually send you frequency that will help bring more balance for you as well. And you can also, again, ask your questions, and I share even more tips and tricks than I have available currently on YouTube on how to heal the shadow on the day-to-day when you're on your own and I'm not there with you. What are these things and practices that you can do that ultimately raise your vibration? As we shift and release that which is not us, all the money and the relationships and the love and the health, it just is a byproduct of that. It's a symbol of the shift that's happening within yourself. So if this membership is something that sounds exciting to you, you want to connect with other like-minded people, you want to connect with me and grow in community together, there is a link in the description where you're able to get more information on that and sign up, and I would love to see you there.